Hi, Sapato Pips here. I'm in Kisumu and I've just bumped into this fantastic musician. She'll introduce herself. Let's get to know who she is and without wasting more time, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Shari Afrika. I'm an African fusion artist, musician, among other things. And I'm happy to be here.
Okay, so when did you fall in love with music?
Hey, so, do I remember? I don't think I remember a specific time, but my earliest memories of music, I have two major ones.
Okay.
So the first one is my grandfather. My grandfather at home used to play a lot of music
Okay.
when he was in the house on weekends.
Okay.
So I got to sample his love for music. So it's kind of, I think he is, you can say, the origin. Because my mom, what people don't know is my mom used to sing as well.
Okay.
But not as a solo artist. She used to be part of a choir called KCT.
Okay.
So they used to sit in front. They used to stand in front of. Is it the Kenya local? Tamani wapi? I think in front of Parliament. And sometimes Kencom, sometimes this other side Kenyatta Avenue, GPO. Sometimes they would just go there, wamejipanga with their choir and nice cute little uniforms. So alikuwa naenda huko and they just sing and people would give donations as well, so they wanaimba and there's like a basket hapo hivyo where people can come support what they're doing. So I would say I fell in love with music listening to my grandfather, to his playlist on the weekends, and to watching my mom just do her thing with her peers back then.
So you were born in Nairobi?
I was born in Kibra.
Okay. Okay.
And then I was raised kidogo in Githurai, Kariobangi, Isili, Ruai. Those are places we've lived. Banana, and then eventually I went to Sega to stay with my grandparents.
Okay. So when did you first discover that you could sing?
I'd say primary,
Okay.
but I wouldn't say it is I who discovered I could sing. I'd say it's more of my classmates and our matron.
Okay.
So I went to school first from up to class 6 at Sega Township, and then from class 6 I went to Sega Girls, which was a boarding school, Sega Girls Primary. So when I was in Sega Girls, it's a Catholic school, so every Saturday jioni we would meet up the whole school and then sing. Is it hymns? They're not hymns. The Catholic ones, are they called hymns? No, zile song. And I used to dance in church as well. So other than just the singing, I would dance. And so during these practice sessions with our matron, she used to be our cook as well, konaitwa Mama Njoki. So during one of these practice sessions, Mama Njoki told me I sounded nice, sounded good, and so some of my classmates as well were telling me I sounded good. And I think it's a thing for most singers. When umezuba tu mahali utajipata tu kiimba, just doing something, and anyone who is close by, if they like it, they'll let you know that that sounds good, I like it, tumefanya kitu poa. So yeah, I'd say primary school, just from our matron and my friends and classmates.
So did you, after they were like complimenting you and telling you you could sing, high school, did you go into festivals and
My whole primary I was doing solo verses, choral verses. I was an entertainer from the start.
Okay.
I've been an entertainer my whole life.
Okay.
So when I got to high school, I think as much as I knew I loved singing and I knew that people liked how I sang, I still didn't have that kind of belief that I wanted to be a musician or something like that. So when I got to high school, still my sights were on, we have to become a doctor, lawyer, architect or engineer. Ukienda sana utakuwa ni usanka top 5. So when I got to high school, I would sit, I was the prefect, class prefect when I got to Form 1. So nilikuwa nakaa hapo mbele, desk ya katikati, right hapo in front of the teacher. So I would sit right in front of the teacher. And tukiwa during the first month of high school, when you're in Form 1, usually there's no much activity. Hakuna walimu, bado hamfundishwi, mko tu mnakaanga tu. Kama it lasts a month, but it lasts some weeks.
Yes.
Where you guys are not being taught. So what was I doing with my free time? Remembering music I was listening to in the holidays. So ningekaa tu hapo hivyo kwa desk yangu na ham tu, nitapata tu nimeanza kuham ama naimba tu, and to mimi naifanya na wares, but to my classmates they hear it all the time. so they hear me sing all the time throughout. And then each year at Nia Girls there was something called Nia Girls Idols. So it's where people just come, dancers wanakuja, they do their thing, compete, dance crew, when it a win becomes the dance idol, and then waimbaji we come do our thing, when it a win becomes the idol for that year. Tuka hizo. So I didn't plan to audition for it, but then my desk mate, because yeye alikuwa anashinda amenisikia tu nikiimba throughout. And apparently ni kama alikuwa anajibamba sana, and she just wanted other people to just hear what she hears. So it's like a day to the day before that show, she tells me, no, nilikuandikisha that unaenda kuimba, nilikuandikisha za singer, you're going to sing tomorrow. So but it's tomorrow, I don't know what I'll sing. So uzuri, because I loved to listen to music, still do. I listen to music, it's almost like a job. So nilikuwa already niko na songs nimeshika vizuri sana because I sing them all the time. So I just picked one, went, performed. I did not expect to win at all.
Might you remember the song?
Yeah.
What?
Breathe Slow, Alicia Dixon. A book, I forgot to breathe slow. Nimesahau the words. Nimesahau kabisa.
Okay.
Nimesahau. But while we're still hanging out, if I remember, nitakuonyesha.
Okay, so you won that year.
So I won. Then I became the idol for that year. And so eventually I just decided, because I am very spiritually rooted in God, I decided to join CU, and so I started leading worship, praise and worship in CU up to the time I left. So after that I joined uni. In uni there was a school band, more university band, a MU band.
So, okay, in uni?
So in uni, my entry to uni was very rough. It was very hectic. Insufficient funds. So we had insufficient funds, and it was just a brutal time.
What? Okay, let's continue.
So while I was settling in school, there was a lot of surviving, a lot of relying on others to get by. And so one of my friends who was, supporting me, and we had been friends since high school, his name is Duke. So Duke would bring me food every day, like papi, and he would just kuja plate amefunika na chai, then he'd bring me food. And then there's Nasir as well, always took care of me. So good friends. And my roommate Isabella, she would often, akiona tu si huyu anakaa ni kama hana she would cook for two always, So it was a rough time, but at the same time I got to enjoy the support of really kind people, and to also learn that I can pay it forward, So every time I see people who are where I was, I always feel the need to pay it forward, because I have enjoyed a lot of kindness from people. So during that time when I didn't know what to do with myself and I was just a very sad girl, Duke decided to take me to MU band. He was like, Yosh, by then I wasn't Shari, I was Shan.
Okay.
I've been many things throughout time, but I was Shan. So he was like, Shan, kuna band huku hivi, and I know you like to sing, so you just come and try it out, see if it's something you'd like. So one day he takes me to the band. I think band ilikuwa open from 5 to 9. Is it 9 or 8, 9 p.m. hapo. But sometimes tungepata extend sana. So we go to the band and nikaambiwa ni audition. Apparently ndio kuwa a member of the band you have to audition, and if they like you utajoin. So I went, auditioned, I did Avril, naitwa Missing You by Avril. Hiyo naweza kuimbia. So and I'm missing you, and words can't explain. I feel I'm insane when you are away. Wanijaza na furaha ya kipekee, sitaki mwingine. And so when I did that song, I remember I was so shy, I was so scared. It's just, every time I meet people for the first time, like a room full of people for the first time, I get so anxious. What wananiona? But surprisingly, I don't feel like that when I'm on stage performing. Anyway, so I succeeded in joining the band. And so I'd spend every day kuko hivyo, kila jioni kwa band, kila jioni kwa band. And the good thing about our band was we had some of the lecturers who were well conversant with music, training us. So there was an MU choir and an MU band, and anytime there was a function within the school, we would perform. Anytime there was a function in Eldoret, we would go there and perform. So it kind of it really trained us to be performers, right from scratch. So they taught us how to hold the mic. They teach you which kind of songs to listen to. For example, when I think, even though I loved rumba before joining MU, but being just being a part of MU band helped me to love rumba even more, to love benga even more, to just love my Africanness even more, to want to showcase it to the world, to want to showcase my culture. I feel like MU band is what really molded me now to truly become second tunasema ni kama the second last hands I passed through. For example, after MU molded me, Dagos now molded me into who I chose to become. Sasa, like MU ilinipea good training. So when I finished, oh, in Moi, by the way, tulikuwa famous. Like hiyo band yetu tulikuwa famous sana, and there are so many people who are in the industry right now who came from our band. Some people that you know, some people that you don't know, but
like who exactly?
Everybody, nani anatoka kwa band yetu? Okelo Max anatoka kwa band yetu, MU band. Kuna Lumumba, kuna Joel here. Did you know that?
Yes.
You know Joel?
Yes.
Yeah, Joel comes from MU band. There's Maria Muziki.
Maria Ngoma.
Maria Ngoma.
Oh, yeah.
There's Regina Mlecha.
Who sings with Kidum?
Yeah.
Wow.
There's me. So there's MU band has given us so many well-seasoned musicians, both singers and instrumentalists. So yes, after I finished MU. After my last paper, I didn't want to come back to Kisumu or go to Sega. I was just like, I had the mentality that when you go back home, dreams just die, you know. So I said I won't go back home. Hata tu kuona kidogo siendi. So mimi nikachukua tu Noah, nikabook Noah, talked to a friend of mine in Nairobi, Rosie. I was like, yo, mimi nakuja, niko kwa njia in fact. Natafuta mahali pa kukaa just for a short while until I get on my feet. And she was like, yeah, sure, I come, but you only have 4 months. After 4 months, sort, I said, okay. So nikajani, like, put all my things Noah Nairobi. I go to Nairobi and then I found a band, inaitwa Afrongoma band. I found a band and I was performing with Afrongoma from Wednesday to Sunday. So you rest on Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday, Sunday uko job. Na zilikuwa hizi gigs za from 6 p.m. mpaka saa 7 usiku. So by the next day umechoka, but still 6 mpaka saa 7, 6 and it's different parts of Nairobi, you know. But I enjoyed it because I enjoy music. I enjoy being a musician. I enjoy having the ability to make music and see how it affects people positively, hopefully positively all the time.
So when did you go solo?
So I gigged with Afrongoma for those 4 months. And then immediately after that, nikapata internship. Because for me, remember, I still think, you know, the way my grandparents conditioned me. It's like, no, lawyer, architect,
What
engineer.
were you doing in uni? What was your course?
Project planning and management.
Okay.
So initially I wanted to finish that and then do epidemiology and then go be a project manager somewhere at Kendry. So I had a plan. But then when I got to Nairobi, I had my first internship at a cancer center. I was doing as project manager. So I was just, do you want to know what we were doing? So we were just generally doing all things involving cancer, but mostly providing support for those who are affected by cancer in terms of, let's say, mostly women. We were mostly dealing with breast cancer. So when you are wamekatwa, we donate mastectomy bras. It's like they are pre-filled bras so that it doesn't look like there's nothing there. So we would do that on in different counties, and then of course look for funds and all those things. Anyway, so after that, I got another internship at Unilever. So I left this one because the other one was much more lucrative. So I was working for Vaseline, but really skincare category, because my boss was the category manager. So I learned so much there. I did that, and then I got a contract for some time. Did that, and then COVID hit, and then we were laid off. But I really enjoyed my time at Unilever because I learned how to make myself a brand, and not just a brand, but a lovable brand. Unilever is big on building brands, so they like to build brands that are loved by people and purposeful brands. So I was like, now I know what to do with myself, you know. And so I was telling you earlier, because I haven't had the chance to be managed by someone else, or to be, you know, to have a team that takes care of me, or a label that, you know, does things for me. I haven't been fortunate enough for that. So learning these things helped me just be able to grow myself, to grow the brand independently, but still equal at the weight of a team. Like, people look at the brand and they think there's a team behind the brand, but it's like it's a one-woman show, you know. And that is because of the training I got from there. It's not a Titunukivo, it's not just natural, but it's on steroids.
So do you have any recorded stuff, and when was the first time you went into a studio?
Wait, I was to tell you,
yeah,
when I went as a single.
Okay.
So after doing the gigs with Afrongoma, and then the internship, and then Unilever, and then we get laid off. So I decided to join. There's a place called Dagos, or there used to be a place called Dagos, at Kona, the Great Kona. So in 2020, I decided to go to Dagos because now I didn't have a job. I had time, a lot of time, to become a musician. so I went to Dagos, and I started knowing people, networking, and then I went every day. I'd go there every day. I'd just spend my day there and night there. And so I became a resident, and almost just like family. I think of the Dagos team as family. As much as Dagos closed, anywhere I go, Malintafuta na Devi, one family. Nikienda nikutane na Steve, one family. Nikienda nikutane na Sid, one family. Nana. So when I got to Dagos, now that's when I molded myself into the brand Shari Afrika. So I would interact with so many musicians. I would see so many musicians perform. I would hear so many stories from Akina Devi, you know, of their times touring Europe with blues, and just being immersed in that kind of environment, it changes you in so many beautiful ways. so being at Dagos really changed me in so many beautiful ways. And that free time, not having a 9 to 5, helped me focus and just decide what I want, how I want to do it, who I want to be known as, what I want to be associated with, and all those things. So at some point in 2020, I decided to go back into corporate. So I was a marketing manager for a certain company, naitwa Darasa. So I went, did that until, while I was doing that job, I think I did darasa in 20. So as I was doing the job, because times were hard during COVID, I had to get a job.
Yeah, it was very difficult.
So as much as I was doing the job, I was still, a very present member of Dagos. So niko nafanya hiyo, but huku pia nimeshikilia so that isipotee hiyo momentum nimeanza kutengeneza isipotee, so like that. But still then I'm just doing live music. So in 2020 I decided to release my first single. After doing 2 covers, I did my first single, Nisa Nyingi. Huko mwisho wa mwaka. So I did Nisa Nyingi. It was wonderful. And then we got to 2021 in January. Then we did Serereka with Triumio. After Serereka, so I was in Kisumu at that time. Nimekuja kidogo kutembea. Then I was with a friend and then he asks me, so hii traction ya Serereka, what do you intend to do with it? I said, I don't know, because Trey is in school. We can't do media for it. And then he said, no, but you are not in school. You can go do media for it. I said, oh, by the way, kalichanua sana. So I texted a friend of mine, Timmy Life, and I was like, I see you do a lot of media tours. Nisaidie na these numbers. But before then, I remember I used to think that for you to get interviews, you have to know the presenters. So one time I was talking with Lomax, and he tells me, unajua venye watu pata interview, naambia pasi, maybe you just know akina Raburu, and he's like, no, you're supposed to go talk to the producer of the show. Sijaisahau hiyo. That was a gem, because I've been a media baby for quite some time. Like when he said that, just know the producers. Just on your way in, because even if you go to the presenter, they still take you back to the producer of the show. So I said, okay, let me find my way around this. Then I called Timmy Life and like nisaidie na numbers za hawa watu. So he gave me some numbers. I started calling and sending WhatsApp messages. All of them, media stations, zote. Of all the media houses I tried to get an interview at, the most receptive one was for me, Citizen. And since then we've built a beautiful friendship, I can say, because that same year they had me do Christmas carols. The Christmas carols that they ran during the holidays. And I think up to last year nimezifanya almost kila year after that. I don't know if I'll do this year as well, I'm not sure, but I remember I used to do for Citizen TV, the main show, and then Ramogi TV, and kuna English, Kiswahili, and Luo. So those are 3 Christmas carols. And in a way, my connections and just my networks at Citizen have been very, 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 very extremely instrumental in just setting myself up as an artist and putting myself out there as well for people to know me. So yeah, tukaanza push Serereka, and then after that, the relationships and networks I was able to build from there have lasted me till today. Be it people in media, be it people, agencies for influencers, every person I've worked with, every person I've partnered with in the industry throughout the years, we've remained closely knitted and just always open to work on more things all the time. So that's 2021. After that, I did another single, Tuendele, beautiful. And then after that, that's 2021. So I'm still working and I'm still singing, still working, still performing. And ilikuwa hectic it was so hectic. I'd get so tired, but then the dream, when you have this dream and you can see it, you can feel it every day because you're carrying it in your heart every day. So, and it weighs on you, and it wants to be seen and to be achieved and stuff like that. So I'd sacrifice my strength and my time and all these things. I do my own graphics. I went and learned Photoshop just so I can do those things myself.
Wow, what an artist, what a serious musician or artist does to continue pushing as the struggle is still at the beginning stages. So what are your highs and lows in music?
My highs always when I get feedback from fans. The other day, still going juicy, I was just showing one of my instrumentalists a DM I got from Instagram. So I often read my messages, inbox, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, killer platform I'm on. I always read the messages. I always check my inbox notifications. I see them all, and I try to respond to zenye gonna more than high. so the ones that look like there's something they want to talk about. Where is this going? Anyway, yeah. So my favorite part is when I get feedback from fans and they tell me maybe someone has just discovered me, like that person, that DM was someone who had just discovered me and they was like, yo, I like this, that's all I want to tell you, bye, thanks.
And lows?
Lows, there are so many lows when you are a female musician in the industry. So lows for me is, I think the lowest is when I'm not able to reach the people, my people. Every artist akona a target market yake, target audience yake, and I think you enjoy your time as a musician more when you are performing for your people, the people who they understand what you're doing, they love what you're doing, and it will be easy to entertain them because they already love what you're doing, they're familiar with it. And so when you're not able to find those people that love what you do, in some way it kind of steals the joy in doing that thing in the first place, because music is something you're doing for people to feel, so they have to feel and respond to it. And when you're not getting that, it's a sad thing for an artist.
I've seen that you'll be playing at the Madaraka Festival.
Yes!
2024, December 14th at the Tomboya Labour College.
Yes!
So how did that happen?
I see. I just got a call from Javan. We've known each other for quite some time, but...
So for this person who's watching right now who doesn't know who Javan is.
Well, Javan is the founder and just the lifeline of One Vibe and Madaraka Festival. And I think all of us who work with him just love him for who he is. He's an absolutely wonderful person.
Okay, so you got a call from Javan?
Yeah, so I got a call from Javan. We've been, we've known each other for quite some time, but we had never met physically because for a long time he's been in the US. So when he was about to come to Kenya, he called me and he was like, I'm coming to Kenya and I'd like us to have a meeting when we get there. So I said, sure. At that time I was in Kisumu. When was that? That was June, July this year. So he was coming to Kisumu and he wanted to talk. So when I came, we had a meeting and it was basically, about partnering for this and for Madaraka Festival and for, of course, other projects outside. Or is it within? It's within still, but outside of Madaraka Festival 2024. So from our meeting, a beautiful partnership and allyship was born. And then one of the things we spoke about was, of course, Madaraka Festival, and his album tour. I think he's finished it. Yeah, they just concluded tour. So yes, that's how I got to be part of Madaraka Festival.
Wow. Wow. For an up and coming or aspiring musician, younger, what would you tell them? What advice that you've learned personally would you share with them so that they don't have to go through some of the struggles you've gone through?
I think grounding yourself. For example, I think grounding is very important for a female musician, for all artists, but generally for a female artist, grounding yourself is very important. Knowing yourself and really being sure that you know yourself and you know what you're trying to do. When you know what you want to do, it's much easier for you to make plans and strategies to get you there than when you don't know. When you don't know what utakuzungusha tu hivi, left, right, center, up, down, hivyo. But then when you know yourself, when you know what you're here to do, and sometimes you may not even know how you're going to do it, but as long as you know who you are, what you're here to do, you'll be fine. And number 3, integrity. I think integrity is what protects you. It protects you from being misused in every way possible for every artist, mainly financially, but also, so integrity really protects you as an artist. So know yourself, know what you really, really want to do, is unbelieving, and then listen to counsel, but usikue vile inasema, don't be moved by the wind. Don't be moved by the wind. So just know yourself and be steady in that knowledge of yourself, and have integrity while you're trying to achieve that thing you know.
Thank you so much for your time. And we, especially me, I can't wait to see you on that big stage at the Madaraka Festival.
I hope to see you too. Can't wait to perform.
Man, this has been lovely. Thank you so much.
I've enjoyed talking to you.
Nice, man, nice. Stay blessed.
You too.
Yes, and your social media handles?
Shari, _Afrika with a K. Inasi hata kidogo. K Afrika. Shari Afrika. Everywhere. YouTube, Spotify, kuna gani? Apple Music. Hizo vitu zote. Shari Afrika.